Hey guys, you're watching In the Boat with Ben TV. I'm Ben,
And I'm Rachel.
and today we're going to share 10 games that you can play at the dinner table to keep kids engaged. This is something that we have some difficulty with. We have 6 boys. They're 9 years of age and younger as of this recording, and they are a rambunctious bunch. Dinner time is a really important time for our family to connect and to keep up with one another. And so we employ some tactics to try to keep dinner fun and interesting and keep the kids focused at the table without being really militant about dishing out the consequences. Sometimes we've got to do that, but we'd rather resort to things that are a little bit more fun and engaging. So here are the 10 games that you can try. Number 1 is one that we actually came up with recently. It's one of my favorites. It's called the mirror game. And so what you do is you choose a person, and so for example, if that person is mama, you say, okay, it's time to mirror mama. And then you have to do what that person is doing, and it looks kind of like this. Depending on who you're mirroring, it gets a little bit weird, but it's always a lot of fun.
Number 2, a word association game. This is a game where one person says a word and the next person says whatever first comes to mind. So it looks a little something like this. Light.
Brown. No.
No.
Dog.
Poop.
Scoop.
Litter box.
Cat.
Cute.
Baby.
Asher.
Aww. All right, game number 3 is the rhyming game. Basically, the person who gets to go first picks the word, and then everybody else has to try to find words that rhyme with that word. So if I pick the word funny,
Honey.
bunny,
Sunny.
money, I win.
Number 4, the table tells a story. This is where we go around the table and we tell a story one line at a time. So each person contributes to the story. It looks a little something like this. Once upon a time, there was a boy who had a dog, and one day he was out walking his dog and...
All of a sudden, as they were crossing the bridge, the dog jumped into the water, and the boy knew the dog couldn't swim, so he dove in after them. And they got sucked down into a magic portal that led them to
a dragon land. And there were so many dragons that were so dangerous that he didn't even want to come out of the water. But then he decided that maybe they weren't as dangerous as they seemed. And so he came out of the water, and then
one of the dragons recognized him as the boy who was on the other side of the portal, and he said, "Hey boy, would you like a ride home?" And the boy said, "Yes, as long as we can take the dog." And the dragon said yes, and so he flew him home just in time for dinner. The end.
That's a pretty good story.
Yeah, I'd read that book. Number 5 is a spin on that, where you do the same thing, but you tell the story one word at a time instead of one phrase at a time. So it gets a little bit more complicated, but it's also kind of fun. Once
upon
a
time
there
was
a
girl
who
wanted
to
be
friends
with
a
magician
who
ruled
the
kingdom
of...
Number 6, what am I feeling? We play this game every now and then, and it sort of tests the boys' ability to read nonverbal expressions. And because we care a lot about emotions, we want them to recognize the different emotions that are on other people's faces. So we'll go around the table and we'll pretend like we're sad, or we'll pretend like we're happy. And everybody, this is one person at a time, and everybody will have to guess what emotion they're feeling. So it looks like this.
Sad. All right, my turn.
Okay.
Number 7 is something we like to do called the Daily 3, and that's where every day we let a different person in the family pick 3 questions that they get to ask everyone at the table. So the rule is 2 of them have to be serious questions. The third question can be a silly question. A recent example was we were asked, what was the last fun thing you did today? And then the second question was, what is your favorite animal? To which I answered the dolphin, naturally. And then the third question was, when was the last time you threw a banana? And I actually had an answer to that question. Rachel did not.
I did not. I have never thrown a banana.
I do all the time.
Number 8, Once Upon a Time. This is where Mama and Daddy get to tell stories from when we were a little girl and a little boy. And the kids just love this kind of thing because they're so curious about what sorts of things we did as kids. And we've used these sometimes to prove to them that their behavior problems are not really as important as they think they are.
Yeah, it's fun for kids. You know, they have a relationship with their parents where the parents are in charge and the parents have things together that they don't have together. Like the parents know how to tie their shoes and they know how to manage schedules and stuff like that. And it's just fun for kids every once in a while to get to see that their parents weren't always that way, that once upon a time, their parents were little kids who got into trouble and who made mischief. And so we have a lot of fun. And I'll usually start out the story something like this: once upon a time when Daddy was a little boy. And I'll tell a story that's mostly true, and then I exaggerate some parts of it because they like to hear some of the exaggerated elements of the story. But it's just a lot of fun. Number 9 is called the word train. Now, the way this one works is it's kind of similar to the word association game, but the word that the next person says has to begin with the letter that the previous word ended with. So, for example, car,
Race.
elephant,
Train.
numbers,
Sun.
night. That's a T.
Number 10 is the laughing game. This is just what it sounds like. We just sit around and laugh.
Yeah, and it starts out as fake laughter, but over time it devolves into everybody laughing hysterically and not really knowing why.
Mm-hmm.
Should we demonstrate it?
No. I'm crying now. Okay.
That was all fake. Like I said, dinner time is a really important time. What? Like I said, dinner time is really important for our family, just a time for us to connect. If you've got a meal time like that, a time when you guys are all around the table together, and you've got young ones who have a little bit of trouble focusing, this can be a great way to make it entertaining and fun for them. One of the ways that you can connect, and also becomes a gateway to other deeper conversations.
Mm-hmm.
If you want more content like this, go to intheboatwithben.com, where we host a weekly podcast that goes a little bit deeper into these topics. While you're there, sign up for our newsletter and we'll send you a free gift. For more videos like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks. Identity is not tied to what they do. So even if they make a mistake, even if we make a mistake, it's not because we're bad people. It's that we just chose a wrong decision. And sometimes that's because of our emotions. Sometimes that's because of things going on in our life. There are a million different reasons why. But the important thing about apologizing to our kids is that we provide them with this learning opportunity for understanding that their identity is not tied to what they do.